Guys, my name's Martin and today we're going to solve a word problem using Polyer's four-stage method of problem solving. They are understanding the problem, making a plan to carry out the problem, carrying out the problem, and then reflection. So let's have a look at the problem. So some tripods and bipods flew from planet Xeno. There are at least two of each of them. Tripods have 3 legs, bipods have 2 legs, and there were 23 legs altogether. How many tripods were there? Is number 8, question A. B is how many bipods were there? It's asking us to find 2 different answers. Now, first in understanding the problem, what we must do is break it down. So the question is really asking how many tripods and bipods flew from the planet, ensuring there was at least 2 of each in each trip, totaling a total of 23 legs. The key words to focus on are at least 2 of each of them, 23 legs altogether, tripods have 3 legs and bipods have 2 legs. Now, I've created a mind map of the math skills and areas that we're going to look at today. So we'll be looking at addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Some students can use a calculator if they like. We'll be employing strategies of working backwards, guess and check, and maybe creating a table. We'll definitely be using some mental computations, and there will be written algorithms in there. Now, as I mentioned, in regards to planning how we'll solve the problem, we're going to employ the strategy of working backwards and guess and check. Now this allows students the opportunity to make mistakes and grasp the strategy and how it can be effective. And the maths topics we're going to cover, obviously addition, subtraction, multiplication, division and written algorithms. Now carrying out the plan, we'll be breaking the problem down into 2 parts. Okay, in the first part we'll be multiplying and subtracting. And in the second part, we'll be guessing outcomes of the total until we have the correct answer. Now, the reasoning we're going to demonstrate in solving the problem is by recording the incorrect answers. We will be able to confirm the exact answers from the incorrect ones. Like I mentioned, multiplication, addition, division, subtraction, and of course equals will be used. Some of these may have to be expanded on further. Now, working through the problem, we know for a fact that there is a total of 23. We know that bipods have 2 legs and there's got to be 2 of them. So there's got to be 2 bipods at all times, that equals 4 legs. We know that tripods have 3 legs and there's got to be 2 of them at all time. So they've got 3 legs, 2 of them at all time is 6, that equals 10. So 10 is our constant. Now working backwards from the total, 23 minus 10 equals 13. Now what we're looking at going on to the guess and check strategy is we're looking to guess how many bipods and how many tripods make up the total of 13. So drawing a quick table, bipods, tripods to equal 13. So how many bipods? Let's guess say maybe 6, that would equal 12. Tripods 1, that would equal 3, 15, so that's incorrect. We have another go. Let's say 4 bipods, that equals 8. Let's say 2 tripods, that equals 6, that equals 14. That's incorrect. Bipods, tripods. Alright, so let's say bipods maybe 2, that equals 4. Tripods 3, that equals 9. 13, that's correct. So 13 and 10 gives us our total of 23. So the first answer is A equals tripods. We've got 2 here plus there, so it's 5TR. B equals, we've got 2 plus 2, 4B. So there's our first answer. Alright, let's have a go at finding another answer using the same strategy. So once again, we are just looking for the number 13. So bipods, tripods. Alright, so if we say bipods 2 again, oh no, we wouldn't say 2 because we already know it's the answer. Let's say 3, that would equal 6. Tripods 2, that would equal 6. 12, it's not quite enough. Bipods using the same, obviously using the same table, it's quite effective as you can see. Bipods, let's go something different. 5, that would equal 10. 1 tripod equals 3, 13, wonderful. So 13 and 10 again equals our total of 23. So how many bipods have we got? We've got 5 plus 2 is this will be answer B, sorry. Bipods, so we have 7 bipods. The amount of tripods, we have 1 here, we've got 2 up there, so we've got 3 TR. So once again, by using the guess and check and work backwards, we've found 2 different strategies. Now, in reflection of this problem, what worked for us, obviously employing the 2 different strategies worked well, okay. What we do differently next time, maybe we could expand out our equations, we could employ a different strategy and have children maybe act it out in the classroom, quite engaging, quite fun. Finding the challenges within this particular problem is obviously slowing down the process. There can be challenges if students don't understand the math skills like addition, subtraction, multiplication. We might have to expand. Now this links to the Australian curriculum, under the content descriptor algebra, number and algebra for years 3 to 4, where they represent and solve problems involving multiplication using efficient mental and written strategies, where appropriate digital technologies like a calculator can be used. Further to this, the year 4 is develop efficient mental and written strategies, which we did obviously, using appropriate digital technologies for multiplication and division when there is no remainder. Now we didn't use a calculator, so we could actually use a calculator in expanding our thinking. This is a great activity to discover those mental computations. Now problem solving is important because it is the process of identifying problems and implementing a solution like we've done. Now if educators can provide real world sort of problems and relate it to students' thinking, it's going to expand maths learning and development. Anyway, today we have solved the word problem using Polly's 4-stage method of problem solving. I hope it's been informative. Thanks.